know how it is. Your work life is just this constant shuffle of different accounts. You've got one login for a client's ad platform, another for their Shopify store, a third for some testing environment. It gets messy, and it gets messy fast. Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty slick solution for all that chaos. I mean, seriously, does this look familiar? That endless loop of signing out, clearing your cache, maybe firing up an incognito window that you know isn't really going to work, and then signing back in, just praying you don't get locked out. It's such a huge hidden drain on your day. Okay, let's really break down why this is so maddening. The crazy part is how all these little problems just snowball. You start with the simple annoyance of cookie and cache conflicts, but then you're tempted to share a password with a teammate, which, let's be honest, is a huge security no-no. All that context switching just destroys your focus, and even worse, it can actually trigger security flags on big platforms like Amazon or Google, putting your accounts at risk. It just makes working together a total drag. So you're probably thinking, okay, there's got to be some big, fancy enterprise tool for this. And you're right, there are. But what we're about to see is that sometimes even the most powerful tools just fall short. Why? Because they're the wrong tool for this very specific job. Let's look at the usual suspects, right? You've got these heavy hitters like Citrix, which give you a whole virtual desktop in the cloud. That's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut when all you need is a few browser tabs. Then you have remote access tools like AnyDesk, great for controlling a computer from far away, but they have no idea how to isolate individual browser sessions. And finally, you have those super specialized anti-detect browsers, which frankly often have a steep learning curve and really aren't built for simple team collaboration. And this, right here, this is the heart of the matter. For most of us, marketers, e-commerce sellers, testers, the real need isn't a whole separate computer in the cloud. It's just having clean, isolated browser tabs, where every single tab acts like its own brand new, fresh browser. That's the dream. And that dream brings us to the hero of our explainer today, the cloud browser. This is a modern solution, built from the ground up to solve this one problem really, really well. So what in the world is a cloud browser? Think of it like this. It's a web browser, like Chrome or Firefox, but it runs entirely in the cloud, not on your computer. You just use your normal browser to access it, but all the real work, the code, the cookies, the logins, all of it happens on a remote server. The only thing that gets sent to your computer is a video stream of what's happening. It's almost like you're watching a super interactive high-def movie of a browser. And that leads to the best part. It's incredibly simple. There is absolutely nothing to install, no clunky extensions to manage, and you can finally say goodbye to juggling a dozen different Chrome profiles. You just log into a dashboard online, and you're good to go, instantly. Okay, theory's great, but let's make this real. We're going to look at a specific tool called Sendwin to see exactly how a cloud browser takes on this multi-login challenge in the wild. And the impact here? It's potentially huge. The source material points to an 80% increase in productivity pipeline speed. Now, you might wonder, how is that even possible? Well, it comes from getting rid of all those tiny cuts, the constant logging in and out, the friction of switching tasks, and fighting with cookie conflicts. They add up. Now, here's where it gets really powerful for teams. Instead of ever sharing a password again, you share the live session itself. It's so simple. You just start a browser session, generate a secure link for your colleague, and you can even set a timer, like give them access for 1 hour. They click the link, and poof, they are right there with you in the live session, clicking and typing, but they never see the username or password. This whole idea ties into a security concept called zero trust. See, on your own computer, all the web code runs locally, which leaves you open to things like malware or phishing attacks. But with a cloud browser, all that risky stuff executes far away in an isolated container. The key takeaway is that your computer only gets a safe stream of pixels. Your machine stays completely clean and secure. And there's more. We're talking about a whole suite of features built for this kind of work. Every single tab is totally isolated from the others. You can bring your own proxy to test how a site looks from different countries. You can even blur out sensitive info on a page before you share the session. And every session is disposable. You create it, use it, and then destroy it in seconds. No trace left behind. So let's talk about how this actually looks in the real world. Who are the people that benefit most from this kind of technology? First up, marketers and advertisers. Yeah, if you are living inside multiple client ad accounts all day, you know the pain we are talking about. Just picture it, running Google ads, Facebook ads, and LinkedIn ads accounts for 3 different clients, all side by side in separate tabs with absolutely zero risk of cookie conflicts. You could share a live campaign dashboard with a client to review instead of sending insecure screenshots or, worse, passwords. Or even better, grant a contractor temporary access that just automatically expires when their job is done. Next up, let's talk about e-commerce sellers, especially anyone who's juggling multiple storefronts on platforms like Amazon, Shopify, or Etsy. I mean, this is a total game changer for them. You can manage all your different stores and regions from one window. That drastically reduces the risk of triggering those dreaded platform flags for suspicious login activity. It's also perfect for protecting sensitive stuff like billing pages, even when you're working with a virtual assistant. And finally, this is incredibly handy for more technical folks. I'm talking about SEO pros, developers, and quality assurance testers. SEO pros can easily check search rankings from different parts of the world just by assigning a different proxy to each tab. QA testers can spin up a perfectly clean, pristine browser environment for testing in just a few seconds. And developers? They can instantly share a live debugging session with a teammate to squash a bug together. It's fast, it's clean, and it's just so much more efficient. You know, a quote from the source material really just nails it. It says it's a browser-based version that runs entirely in the cloud. You open a dashboard, launch isolated tabs, and each login lives in its own clean container. It's simple, it's powerful, and it just works. So I guess it all comes down to this one question. As our work gets more complicated and more account-based, we really have to ask ourselves, is our standard browser still working for us, or has it started working against us? Definitely something to think about.